name Apple has always been synonymous with greatness and innovation. They've been with us, they've inspired us through the ages and through the different technologies that have come around. But lately, it seems like Apple has stopped doing that. And while the new iPhones are stunning, there's still a lot left to be desired. Let's talk more about that, but before that, if you haven't subscribed to the Mr. Phone channel yet, do that right now, and also click that bell icon so that you get notified for all the videos that we put out. So let's get into the video and see if Apple has really stopped inspiring us. So Apple released 3 iPhones this time, but as we all know, there's only one that really matters, the iPhone X. So the iPhone X has all the bells and whistles that a flagship should have. But let's do a quick rundown of the most innovative smartphone in a long time. The display, it's beautiful, it's OLED, it's bezel-less. Is it the first bezel-less display? No. Is it the best? Certainly not. Sharp aqueous crystal was a bezel-less display. It has practically no bezels on 3 sides. It was released back in 2014 and the Mi Mix came after that, and a ton of more smartphones before the iPhone X came out. If you look at facial recognition, it's been in Android since 2011, and after that recently even Samsung picked up facial recognition and even an iris scanner in the S8 and even the Note 8 that was recently released. Wireless charging is also something that has been around for a long time. HTC was the first major manufacturer to bring it, which is back in 2012, which is 5 years ago. And since then, every flagship has had this feature, and Apple implemented it in 2017, as we all know. Even the optical image stabilization that Apple boasts on the iPhone X has been brought before on the Samsung Galaxy Note 8. Well, getting rid of the fingerprint scanner, well, that's new. Apple has been getting quite good at getting rid of useful things. So these are some things that almost everybody is talking about since the release of the iPhone X. I would like to talk about some positive things about the iPhone X that almost nobody is talking about. For example, the gestures that Apple has implemented on the iPhone X. This is a very innovative idea. It's not something new, but there's no major manufacturer that has implemented gestures into their operating system. And gestures are something that's very intuitive for everybody that's human. It comes very naturally to us, and it makes a lot of sense to implement and apply gestures into your UI. And as I said earlier, there have been several bezel-less phones since 2016, but everybody is trying to find out a way to put software navigation keys somewhere or the other. And Apple did something really innovative and bold by adding gestures on there, which I think is something a lot of manufacturers are going to follow and is going to pave the way for the future. The slightly curved corners of the app screens is also really innovative and according to the design of the phone. Even the fact that Apple is pushing and even prioritizing AR is really good and beneficial for the future of the mixed reality universe, and I think other manufacturers will follow Apple in this pursuit. So with the iPhone X, what Apple is doing here is perfecting the features. It's what Apple does the best. They get certain unpopular or unused features to perfection and the industry follows. Only if the iPhone X had more features that weren't already perfect in the market. I think more importantly than innovation, Apple has stopped inspiring people. It is a company that everybody looked up to. It's a company that everybody felt connected with. Other companies like Samsung, Google, LG, Dell or even HP are equally capable of making devices as good or even better from Apple. But the reason why Apple has always stood as the leader in the market is how they inspire their users, how they connect with the consumers, and the consumers or the users connect with Apple as a company and with their products. The iPhone X, as we all know, has entirely overshadowed the iPhone 8 and even the iPhone 8 Plus. Also, for the consumers, it doesn't look like a good situation. If you buy the iPhone 8 or 8 Plus, it's definite that you don't have the best iPhone. It's not because you wanted a smaller screen. It's not because you wanted a smaller form factor, because the iPhone X has a smaller form factor. It's not like you wanted the best camera, because iPhone X has the best camera. It's simply because you had $700 and not $1,000. It's because you're rich, but not rich enough. I think Apple should try and be more of what Apple really stood for in the early years. Listen to what Steve Jobs has to say about it.
It turns out the same thing can happen in technology companies that get monopolies. So you make a better copy or a better computer. So what? When you have a monopoly market share, the company's not any more successful. So the people that can make the company more successful are sales and marketing people. And they end up running the companies. And the companies forget what it means to make great products. Sort of the product sensibility and the product genius that brought them to that monopolistic position gets rotted out by people running these companies who have no conception of a good product versus a bad product. They have no conception of the craftsmanship that's required to take a good idea and turn it into a good product. And they really have no feeling in their hearts, usually, about wanting to really help the customers.
The moral of the story is that Apple has slowly started looking more like its competitors, which isn't a bad thing, but it certainly isn't Apple. I think the company needs to look deeper into their products and add that personal human touch, that feeling that makes us feel closer to the product and to the company. Don't get me wrong, I'm not an Apple hater. Instead, I am someone who wants Apple to succeed very much. I'm someone who believes very much in the Apple legacy, in the Steve Jobs legacy, and someone who doesn't want a company as great as Apple to become like those other big players who just dump their products on their consumers because they can. This is Sreehari from Mr. Phone. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you like this video. If there's something you want to tell me, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'll be more than happy to talk with you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one.